Okay, people. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Glad to have you back. Let me put up my lower third here. Right. This is old your no, I'm wrong. That's my other channel. This is Grand Strange Smoke and Jokes. Right. And I'm Juice Wanna. Right. Glad to have you. You see that right there. Grand Strange. Right. Now, when I was saying about Old Joe Gritty, my other channel, for most people who don't know, I have a channel where, I basically get into, the secret societies and, their game plan, what they have already done, and basically how they move society through these, groups, these groups are just tools, right? So if you ever want to check it out, just go over the the Old Joe Gritty page. I probably put a link inside there some. Nevertheless, I wanted to really give y'all an update. My this is day 4, right? Really, it's basically like 3 days since they took 3 days for them to pop though. But my 3 beer G's in my pink Panamas have popped out. All right, those 2 have popped out. So, basically 4, right? Those 4 basically popped out. So, all I'm waiting for now is my fugue state, to come through and show that love. So, really, what I'm doing is giving other shows, giving other things, and waiting for my my seeds to really start. My plants to really start growing, so then we can get into more detail of things. I have one of my 3 beers OG. It still has the shell on it. Right, this is something that you would go through. So what I'm gonna do is actually do some surgery on it. I'm waiting probably tomorrow or the next day when I address that issue. So when I address it, I will be filming, showing people the best ways that I've learned. I don't know, I've run across that a lot. I've run across if not every grow, every other grow, right? I run across plants where they can't really break out of their shell. It's just what it is. But just so people would know, if you ever decide to start growing, this will be one of the things that you will run across. And since this is one of the things you will run across, I want to give an insight, show you, the careful way of doing it, and, how to do it in the best way that I learned. There's many different ways, I guess. I know my way, and, just like I showed you, I didn't put my seeds through no nursery. I just simply have I have the Fox Farms and I have the Ocean. And so inside the Ocean Farms is the less harsh soil, doesn't have all of the nutrients that can actually damage a young plant. So what I do is I put it inside there first and let them grow out into the other soil, so that way I don't have to constantly keep switching up. Right now, if I was doing, like, say these plants were already like a month and a half old, what I would do then is start a nursery for my next grow. Because usually it could take, depending on which strain you were dealing with, it could be like 8 weeks to 12 weeks for the plant to be ready. So if you say you dealing with a strain that like 8 weeks, about like 6 weeks I would, if it was me, I would start the nursery for the next one. So that way, all I gotta do is take the old plants out, wipe it down, because you don't want to have the Pardon me, I'm looking at something over here. I don't know if that's the handle of the pardon me of the pot. Oh, I ain't got my hand all the way through. But yeah, like, I was just looking at the handle of the pot. Anyway, what was I saying? Forgot. I know it's about the growth. So if it was like a 8 weeks, I would start it in like 6 weeks. I mean 6 weeks in to that, I would plant my next nursery because the plant is not gonna get as big. In the old plants, you should have had already pruned them, started taking the leaves off, the dead leaves and all of that other stuff. So the new plant is not gonna really get any bigger. The buds could accumulate, but as far as the spreading out and taking the space, you already at whatever level that is gonna be. So then you would know, your lighting, depending on how you're going about doing this. Me, like I said, I usually just try to keep everything inside their tent so my closet grows. 'Cause I do two ways. I do the tent grow, which is right by me, like literally, right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my fault. You can see it this way. So I mean, if I'm doing it, basically, it's if you see the camera shaking, that's because I'm actually touching the tent, right? So, like I said, I will be doing I did the filming. I just haven't got to the editing. So sometime this weekend, hopefully Sunday, I'll do the editing, for the videos that I do have, put them together and show you me, putting the tent up and, putting the soil and all of that into the plant, the pots, and then planting them. So that way you would see that it's not all of these different things, but you would still see the same simple result. I've always done it this way, right? I mean, even if I was during grows, I would do other ways. I've never did any grow without the straight dropping at least one or two plants straight into the soil. The reason why I'm saying that is because I'm 100 for whatever like 100 for 100 when it comes to that way. So after a while, I just said, you know what? That's just what I'm gonna do. There's no reason for me to change it up. Now, like I said, I do use two separate soils. I do use, the Fox Farms and the Ocean Farms soil, right? So now the people might tell you other things. They might use other nutrients and stuff like that. So, each his own. I'm not telling other people how to do their grow. I'm just saying how I do my grow. Right. So now that we got that clear, like I said, it ain't really much to really talk about in the beginning. You can't even see the plants. You know what I'm saying? So I might even tomorrow take some pictures of them because they really like this big, so you're not gonna be able to see them inside there, right? So I'll take some other pictures, upload them, and put them in the back so that way you could see it. But what you're watching now is live. Everything that you're seeing now within those pots are live, right? That's why you see my camera had moved, so that's why you see the dots off like a little bit, right? At least for me, I see them off like that. It might not even matter to you like that, but because they're still pointing to the right plants. I'm just saying. Nonetheless, I wanted to talk to you about an article that I ran across. Right, first let me hit this up. Wait, hold on, where we at? I'm looking for my conspiracies. Right? So that's my conspiracies. right? And so I'm dealing with a conspiracy that like I said, I'm not one of those people that do that a lot. You know, like I mean, as far as catering to conspiracies, because I'm a person who I'm a conspiracy revealer, right? Which is totally different. I revealed like I said, that's why, if you go to my other channel, you would see how much. Well, matter of fact, inside this channel right here is where I started. So you know already the extent of research that I do, right? The whole Julius Caesar, Jesus Christ, the Gilgamesh, me going into the Bible, breaking that down, right? So these and the countless Freemasonic videos that I've done. So anybody who knows, anybody who's been paying attention knows the level of research I really do. That's why I said I'm a conspiracy revealist. But in order to have a conspiracy revealist, there has to be conspiracies, right? So the conspiracy that I'm dealing with is NASA itself. My question to NASA is did you really go, to space? And the reason why I'm asking that is based on, matter of fact, let me switch over to my show. That's why my hand was off, because I had it on the other one. That was just the intro page. But anyway, let me get into this article here. Right now, the article states astronauts' blood shows startling DNA mutations after visiting space. Right, so this article came out yesterday. Right, so you see, the little astronaut right there. Right. So my question is, right, if you are discovering this now, right, we have to look at, the Buzz Aldrins, what's the Lance Armstrong, and there's one other guy. I always remember those two, but there's somebody else I should be remember. I think it's something with a C or something. Nonetheless, you gotta ask yourself, how is it that they went into space? We got all of these, people showing you photoshops and how, just different things about space. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into that, but as far as catering to other people's already bringing things to light. My question is with this information that scientists are exposing about the mutation in blood, we should be able to know from the Buzz Aldrins, and Lance Armstrongs, whether or not they truly went to space if we have this information now. Right? Because remember, they now just trying to get, quote unquote, back to the moon after all of this time. Right? So you got to ask yourself, did this stuff really happen? Like I said, I hate to cater to conspiracy theories, but I do run across some, conspiracies that I feel needs to be investigated, right? Like we need to take the time to go, well, that's strange. That's something, because there's some other articles I'm gonna pull up later, not today, but just through time, on stuff that I've been sitting on, because it strikes me as odd. So when things strike me as odd, I usually try to figure out if it's a conspiracy or am I just fantasizing and making this up myself, which I'm not known for. I'm not known for that, right? So I know you can't see what is written here because I didn't transfer the article over, which I probably will do now. Let me transfer this over. Hold on. Let this build up real quick. Ain't no reason to be. I mean, it's just going to be showing you my my word loading up. But all I'm really going to do is just transfer the information from my word over here. So y'all should be able to see it. I just want, like I said, anything that I come across, anything like that, I like to make sure that I'm giving everybody the information that I'm running across. So that way it's no me promoting this. You know what I mean? It's not me promoting it. It's just what it is. So I'm about to take this other article out of here. Plug this in for y'all. Alright, give me 1 second here. Alright, transfer that over. I don't know why this is here like this. Cut you out. Alright, no, I shouldn't cut that out because at least that way I'll know where the article ends. Alright, okay, so let's take this up to the top here. Oh, so I gotta change that title too. Give me 1 second, one more second here. Alright. Or do I already have it in there? Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's still there. It's still there. Okay, let me paint you red. Okay, so let's go into this. Okay, so it says astronauts' blood shows startling DNA mutation after visiting space. This is by Joshua Hawkins, Wednesday. Right? So I can take this out. I don't really care about whose reactions. Alright. It said we see the spaceman in his space suit. Alright, so this is ISS astronaut and spacesuit provided by BGR. Alright. And it goes, a new study has shown that astronauts' blood does experience DNA mutation due to space. So let's think about the Hawk, it is gamma rays, right? She-Hulk and all of these other people. There's a few people that I learned, in the comic book world that actually has, powers based on the gamma rays. If I'm correct, isn't Fantastic Four down with that? I believe I am, but if I'm wrong, don't quote me on that one. Right? The study published in Communication Biology in August looked at the blood taken from 14 astronauts in NASA's Space Shuttle program. The researchers noted several DNA mutations in blood forming stem cells compared to blood taken previously, which could cause concern down the line. Now this is the part that I'm thinking about. Now you saying right here, you're saying which could cause concern down the line. Don't you already have people who's been all the way to the moon? Right? So if you got people who already been to the moon, how is this, a concern that can come down the line? I mean, you've been going in space for a long time now. This is where, my conspiracy theory, comes in. It's like, wait a minute, now I gotta start, going to the people who question, going into space. Because I never really was a person that questioned it. I didn't care. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, they went to the moon. I didn't see nothing coming out of it. I never, you know what I mean? I know that, they show you people, all of these different nations, on one space, what they calling them, station, right? So they got the one space station, and you'll see like, people from China and Germany and America all up on there, Russia, all at the same time. So for me, it was like, okay, I know they've been in space. Whether they went to the moon or not, I never really had any value in caring. So, for me, it never was a concern. I never talked about it because there was no way for me to prove if they did or they didn't. How would I be able to prove that? You understand what I'm saying? So me as a revealist, my only concerns is dealing with things that it's a possibility to reveal. It was all like if it's a secret society, it's a way for you to figure that out, even though it's a secret, right? You can watch mysteries and figure out the whodunits and all of that. So it wasn't a deterrent for someone like myself to do the research in the secret societies. And then when I found out how they worked, for me it was like, oh, okay, and I understood. But for something that I felt like I would have to be able to go in space for one thing myself, right? And then I would have to be able to, go to the moon and all of that. How would I be able to, find this out? I would have to have some black astronauts, something that's going to lead me into the direction versus, somebody just saying it and I have to accept it. Now that I'm seeing this article, I got to put it on the table just like all the conspiracy theorists. Did America actually make it to the moon? Right? Because it's saying here, which could cause concern down the line. That's all I'm saying. It's making that statement. Right? So astronauts may be at higher risk of DNA mutations. So the astronauts may be at this higher risk. Great. So, okay, deep space flight could lead to more DNA mutations in astronauts provided by BGR. The mutation researchers say are worrying, but still below the overall threshold of concern. Still, the researchers concluded that astronauts should be subject to periodic blood screenings to monitor any possible mutations. See again. Include that. All right. Again, these are the things that as I'm reading, that strike my eye. Astronauts should be subject to periodic blood screenings to monitor any possible mutations. What happened to the Buzz Aldrins and Lance Armstrong's is Lance Armstrong the bicyclist? I'm hoping I don't know. And I'm thinking of Lance Armstrong, and I'm thinking that's the bicyclist, right? I don't know. Anyway, I know his name was Armstrong, right? Okay, right. More than anything, the discovery of these DNA mutations in astronauts show that space flight has more unintended consequences than we previously thought. All right, let's get you out of here. We don't need you, do we? All right. So, right, than they previously thought. So this is my thing again. As I'm reading this and I'm saying this, I go, unintended consequences than previously thought. Right. So my thing is, once again, is once you going into space, and we still have these people who actually supposedly, right? When I say actually supposedly, it's oxymoron, but still, right? You got to use supposedly, in this situation. So supposedly, we actually have, spacemen who've been to the moon. we should be able, from the time that they went in the 60s, right, to now, or was it the 70s, 60s, right, to now, have, information on that, right? So this is where my curiosity starts striking, right? It goes, this isn't the first time that the safety of spaceflight has been called into question either. There were previously concerns that spaceflight, like that used in NASA's space shuttle program, could put astronauts at risk of dying from cancer, right? A 2019 study showed that wasn't the case, though concerns around the health risk of spaceflight have continued to be raised. With plans of deep space and commercial space flights coming to fruition, scientists are looking at their health risk more closely. And the DNA mutation found in the astronauts are very intriguing and worrying. The researchers, and the DNA, right? So, DNA mutation found in the astronauts are very intriguing and worrying. Like I said, we have old astronauts, right? Let me see something here real quick. Let me go into let me check out, because I know I was saying, oh, it's Neil Armstrong. I'm saying Lance Armstrong. I'm thinking, like Lance Armstrong. Ain't that the bicyclist? But I knew it was Armstrong. So it's Neil Armstrong. Like I said, there's too many names and stuff, right? And so Neil Armstrong and, Buzz Aldrin. Right? Buzz Aldrin, is that the same? Was he with the who was the second guy? Whatever, man. I'm not. Or it could be Buzz Aldrin is the Buzz Lightyear. I'm getting, that confused with Buzz Lightyear, right? Whatever. It's what it is, right? I'm just here telling you the story, right? So it goes, the researchers looked at the blood from the astronauts almost 20 years ago. These astronauts flew missions between 1998 and 2001. Right? Scientists analyzing data on computer, provided by BGR, right? They compared the samples of the astronauts' current blood spectrum, and they started finding the mutation in the DNA. Although they discovered 34 non-synonymous mutations in 17 CH driver genes, they say that the presence of these small clones in the blood require further inspection and investigation. Finding these DNA mutations in the astronaut blood is concerning, yes, but we don't know the real cause of these mutations. Was it spaceflight itself, or could the astronauts have been exposed to something that isn't necessarily a concern anymore? Listen to the devil talk there, all right? All of this will need to be discovered to properly determine the risk of these mutations in a more widespread fashion. If you figure out what is causing the mutations, perhaps we can combat it somehow. There other concerns we need to address about space flight health, too, like the effects that lack of gravity has on the human bone structure. Listen, we've been known about the human bone structure and, the damage that it can do with that, right? I mean, at least we have some idea. According to y'all, this is new information, right? That it goes something that was 20 years ago. You went and you investigated now. I'm not sure if Armstrong is still alive, Neil Armstrong, but I'm pretty sure. What is it? What's the other one? Buzz Aldrin. I keep saying Buzz Aldrin, right? But one of them is still alive. We still got mad people who went in space before the 1990s, according to science, NASA, and all of that stuff. So if we have that possibility of checking their blood, I'm pretty sure you did blood work on these people too. I'm pretty sure your blood work did start in the 1990s and whatnot. What number they saying here? Right, 1998 and 2000 and 2001. I'm pretty sure we have blood and we have astronauts who did space travel, and we can observe this better. That's, of course, if we are saying that Neil Armstrong actually been to the moon. Right, because his time in space would be remarkable. And I'm not saying that people now haven't been in those space stations longer than it might take to get to the moon and back. But regardless to the fact, I think that we should look at this and question the reality of space travel, at least to the distance that they say. I'm not talking about, what do you call them? Satellites, in space distance. I'm talking about, going to, another orbiting object. Closest one would be the moon. So that's a pretty far distance, right? That's a good enough distance for you to say that you were out of the protection of the earth, right? And so with this information is why I'm bringing it up. This is hold on a minute here. It should be coming up any minute, right? Conspiracies. Right. The only reason why it's taking long is because I actually I be ending the video before it's time. So hold on, I'm looking over here, see if I could bring it up real quick. Forgive me, y'all. Where we at? I have so many different. Okay. So yeah, next time I do it, you know what? I'm gonna change the name on that too. Anyway, I'm talking to y'all about something I should be talking to myself about. Yeah, I talk to myself. I'm okay with it. You should be okay with it too. Right? So we almost out of here, people. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to slide out. Hold on, let me throw my green thumb up for y'all. Right? Wait, no, wrong one. Right. First is red, then you get your green thumb if you dealing with that herbal. So don't forget, hit the like button and get your green thumb. So when we dealing with these herbal conversations, you could be in the mix as well. Don't forget to hit that like. Let me bring this up for you. All right. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and that bell so you can get those notifications whenever I'm live, and you can be updated as well. Now, some of this stuff I will be downloading and just re-uploading, whatever it is. I don't know if that plays a part in whether or not people see it or not. I just gonna start doing it. Nonetheless, we about to slide up out of here, people. I'm Juice Wanna. This is Grand Strains, Smoke, and Jokes. And that was just a conspiracy moment. We out of here.